You are the largest, most diverse, and progressive group of potential voters in American history, comprising fully 30% of the voting age population. On November 6th, you have the power to alter the course of American politics, flipping Congress, changing the leadership of states and cities, making lawmakers act and look more like the people who are literally the nation's future. But you need to vote. In the last midterm elections in 2014, only 16% of eligible voters between the ages of 18 and 29 even bothered. Now, I understand. I was young once. You have a lot on your minds, starting jobs and careers and families. Also, unlike your grandparents, some of whom were involved in civil rights, voting rights, women's rights, the anti-Vietnam War movement, you may not remember a time when political action changed America for the better. You don't even recall when American democracy worked well. Instead, during your lifetimes, you've watched big money take over Washington and state capitals, which may explain why only about 30% of you born in the 1980s think it essential to live in a democracy. But the issues up for grabs this coming November 6th are not ideological abstractions. They're causes in which you have direct personal stakes. Take, for example, gun violence, which some of you have experienced firsthand and have taken active roles trying to stop. Or immigrants' rights. Over 20% of you are Latino, and a growing percent are from families that emigrated from Asia. Many of you have directly experienced the consequences of Donald Trump's policies. A woman's right to choose whether to have a baby, gays or lesbians' rights to marry. They're also issues you're deeply committed to. They'll be front and center if the Supreme Court, as expected, puts them back into the hands of Congress and state legislatures. You're also concerned about student debt, access to college, opportunities to get ahead unimpeded by racial bigotry or sexual harassment. And you are worried about the environment. You know climate change will hit you hardest since you will be on the planet longer than older voters. You've also seen that your votes count. You saw Hillary lose by a relative handful of votes in places like Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. You're aware of the slim but increasingly real possibility of taking back the Senate. As doubtful as you are about politics or the differences between the two parties, you also know that Donald Trump and his Republican enablers want to take the nation backwards to an old, white, privileged, isolated America. You don't. In my 35 years of teaching college students, I've not encountered a generation as dedicated to making the nation better as yours. So my betting is on you this November 6th. Please register and vote. If you found our video informative, please follow this page.